Hey guys, I'm back with another probability lesson. So we've done probability before, and so I think you should be pretty good at it, but now we're talking about dependent events. So you guys should know the difference between independent and dependent, but let me explain it in the, with the idea of events. So an independent event is something like I tossed a coin and got heads. If I toss it again, it's not like the heads disappears because I got it last time. Those don't affect each other. I could toss a coin 15 times and technically I could get heads every time because the heads stays there. But a dependent event is one that depends on something that happened before. For instance, you're picking teams and, you know, if I pick Rocky, the other team cannot pick Rocky. There's no chance of him getting picked. So it changes the probability because now he's no longer available. So with that in mind, I want you to look at these examples. Example 1, it's in your book. I didn't want to write it all on the board. I'll just read it. 2 8th graders and 1 7th grader. So I am going to write 2 8th, 1 7th. They want to go on a trip, but only 2 people are going to be chosen. So they ask, what's the probability that both 8th graders will go? So the first person I pick, let's say the first person I pick is an 8th grader. So there's 2 of them. There's 2 chances I pick an 8th grader out of 3 total, right? That's the chance of picking an 8th grader. 2 out of 3 because 8th over total. That's how probability works. But once one of those 8th graders is gone, now there's only 1 8th grader left and only 2 total. So the probability of picking an 8th grader again is only 1 out of 2 because one of them is a 7th grader, one of them is an 8th grader, so there's really only 2 choices left. Now, in order to find out the probability of both of those happening, we just multiply them. So what you'll see is something like this. The probability of an 8th grader, then an 8th grader, equals 2/3, that's the first one, times 1/2, that's the second one. So when we multiply those, the probability is 2/6, the probability is 1 out of 3. Okay, so the probability of picking an 8th grader, 2 8th graders, is going to be 1 out of 3. Hopefully this makes sense because it's dependent. It depends on what you picked the first time. All right. Let's talk about bags with marbles in them. My favorite. A bag contains 2 white, 3 blue. Oh, that's it. 2 white and 3 blue marbles. Now, if 2 are selected, what's the probability they're both blue if it's replaced? Now let me explain what replaced and not replaced means. Replaced means I pick on a marble and I put it back so I can pick it again, right? Not replaced means I pick it out and I leave it out, so now that's no longer an option. So what's the chances I get 2 marbles if it's replaced? Well, the probability, 2 blue marbles if it's replaced. The probability of blue, well, there's 3 blue and 5 total, right? And then if I put it back, I have the same exact chances of getting it again, right? So that's also 3/5. So I multiply them, and my chances of picking blue twice, if I put it back, are going to be 9/25, which you can get it in a decimal, 0.36. Of course, that's 36%, and so on. Now, what are my chances of picking 2 blue if it's not replaced? Well, the first time, it's 3/5 because they're all in there. But now there's 1 missing. So if there's 1 blue missing, now there's only 2 blue, and there's only 4 total, right? Because one of them's missing. So 2 blue over 4 total is actually 1/2, so I'm just going to put 1/2. And you end up with 3/10, which is 0.30. So it's slightly lower if you don't put it back in, which makes sense because there's 1 that you can't choose anymore. Okay, so if you think about it, it will reduce the total by 1 and it will reduce whatever color number you're trying to pick by 1 as well. So you multiply those together to find the probability of getting both in a row. And I can't believe that's all there was to it. There's, in the practice set, there's one that's like 4 cards are A, B, C, D, face down, just keep going. Because they say, what's the chances of you getting A? And then what's the chance of getting A, then B, then A, then B, then C? Just keep multiplying. Like you could do more than 2. Okay, so A, then B, then C, then A, then B, then C, then D. Just keep multiplying by whatever's left, basically. So hopefully that helps. Thank you for listening. I'll see you guys later, hopefully. I don't even know anymore.